Working with trusted and certified education agents like you in StudyIn can make a world of difference for students planning to study abroad.
Hi everyone, I'm Joanna from StudyIn Philippines. For many Filipino students, studying in the UK is a big dream, whether it's for quality education, career opportunities, or new life experiences. But we also know that planning your UK education can feel overwhelming. That's why at StudyIn Philippines, we help guide students every step of the way, from university selection to visa support. In this interview, we'll cover why the UK is still the top study destination for Filipino students, from the student visa process, recent policy updates like the e-visa system, and tips to help make your UK study plans happen. That's why we've invited experts to help answer your most common questions. We have Francis today from the UK Visas and Immigration, or the UKVI, the UK government that handles immigrations and applications including student visas. Let's get started. Hi Francis, welcome. Thank you for being with us today. So a lot of our students feel overwhelmed with the UK student visa process. Now, can you walk us through the steps of the UK student visa application?
So the process to apply for a UK student visa starts by preparing the required documents for the visa in advance. Students can find the documents they'll need to apply on gov.uk and search student visas. Once you have the documents ready, you can already start to apply for your visa. Ensure that you only apply online via the official UK government website. You'll then need to pay the visa fee and immigration health surcharge as part of your application. Following this, you'll need to book a biometrics appointment at the Visa Application Center to submit your biometric information. After the appointment, you'll need to wait for UKVI to make a decision on your application. Once a decision has been made, you will receive an email sent to your registered email address on what to do next.
The UK visa application seems to be a pretty straightforward process, so thank you for sharing those information, Francis. As part of our service, StudyIn helps guide students on the required documents and the timelines of the visa application, which brings me to my next question, Francis. What are the key requirements students should prepare before applying for the UK student visa?
The key requirements that students should prepare before applying are a passport and a confirmation of acceptance for studies. You may also need to provide proof of finances, proof of English proficiency, a tuberculosis test certificate, an academic technology approval scheme certificate if your nationality or if your course requires it, and a cover letter to explain if you have any gaps on your study or unclear source of funds and financial transactions. For more information on what you'll need to apply, kindly visit the gov.uk website and search student visas.
For our students, you have to secure your CAS, or the confirmation of acceptance for studies, first from your university before you can proceed with your visa application. Now, speaking of these requirements, are there any important information, or are there any latest policy changes that students need to be aware of?
That's actually a good question because there's going to be an update that students need to be aware of. So from July 15, 2025, customers applying as a main applicant for a student or work visa will no longer receive a visa vignette in their passport. Instead, they will need to create a UKVA account to access their electronic visa.
So for our students and viewers, the visa vignette is the stamp printed on your passport. Now, not many Filipinos are familiar with the e-visa system. So could you help us explain the transition of the BRP to the new e-visa?
So BRP cards, or biometric residence permits, are cards that were used to prove immigration status. As of now, all BRPs have now expired and have been replaced by e-visas. The transition means that all students coming to the UK will now need to create a UKVI account to get access to their e-visa. The benefit of having an e-visa is that it is secure and cannot be lost, cannot be stolen, and cannot be tampered with. And also, it will be quicker and easier for students to prove their status at the UK border.
So you've been with the UKVI for quite some time. You've dealt with a lot of application. You've seen different cases of visa applications as well. Based on your experience, what are the most common reasons why students get their visa applications refused?
So actually, UKVI has a dedicated staff that makes decisions on visa applications, and they also ensure that each decision has been processed fairly. It is important that you read the readily available information on gov.uk so that you understand what documents you need to apply for your UK student visa. So some common reasons for student visa refusals are first, not providing enough proof of finances, not providing evidence of meeting the English language requirement, and not providing a cover letter to explain any gaps in study or unclear source of funds. But in all instances, your decision letter will include the reason why your visa application has been refused.
So those are very specific information our viewers and of course our students should take note of. And at StudyIn, we're proud to have an excellent visa approval rate. So we make sure that our students are not just guided on the documents, but they're also guided in terms of the steps and the processes that they need to take note of. Now, can you share some tips on how students can strengthen their visa application?
So some tips to help students apply for their student visa are first, they should start preparing their documents to apply for their visa in advance. This will help to avoid any delays on their travel. If a student's bank statement has large deposits or unclear funds, or if they have any gaps in their study, then ensure that students should provide a clear cover letter explaining this. Once a application has been submitted, it is important that they check regularly their email and junk folders, as UKVI may need to email them for more information. Missing this could delay their visa decision. If students are applying for their visa through an agent, then it is important that they ensure that they regularly stay in contact with them, so they are looking out for emails too.
We understand the importance of timing. However, some students may experience some delays in their application. So how soon should they apply for their visa once they receive their CAS to avoid any risks or complications?
Once students receive their CAS, then students should apply for their visa at the earliest opportunity. This will help avoid any delays and provide them peace of mind.
Thank you so much, Francis, for giving emphasis in terms of timing and the requirements students need to prepare for their application. I'm sure a lot of our viewers and our students will be more encouraged and empowered to apply for their UK student visa. At StudyIn, you can count on us in terms of the guidance and of course the processes and requirements that you need to prepare for your application. And now, to talk about why the UK is still a top study destination, we have Mr. Gerald Magno, Head of Education at the British Council Philippines. So the British Council plays a key role in promoting UK education and supporting students through university fairs and English language tests like the IELTS. So let's dive right in. So why is the UK considered still a top study destination for Filipino students?
The main selling point of UK as a study destination, I think, is quality and the prestige. So 3 out of the top 10 schools worldwide, universities are in the UK. We have Oxford, Cambridge, and the Imperial College. More than the quality is the experience. Just imagine studying in centuries-old schools and universities wherein the tradition and the new innovative ideas are blending. I think that's the selling point of UK as a study destination. Just to note that 1 in 4 leaders worldwide actually have a UK study background. And a third of Nobel laureates also have an educational background from the UK. So when it comes to quality, if you're aspiring to do big things, you are in the right place in the UK.
1 in 4 world leaders. That's very remarkable. I think the impact of UK education is not just academically, but also globally. But getting to that point really takes a lot of patience, preparation, support, and guidance, especially for our students taking this journey for the first time. So on that note, how does the British Council provide support to international students?
We provide a pre-departure briefing to help students navigate visa applications, accommodation, and even budgeting. We also offer orientation resources on how to help students transition into UK life, including cultural tips and practical advice.
All right, so that's incredibly reassuring. But speaking of support and clarity, there's been a lot of conversation about the recent announcement of the UK government, particularly the white paper on immigration and education. What are your thoughts on this white paper and its implication to international students?
The white paper aims to reshape UK's immigration system towards those who contribute most to economic growth of UK, with higher skill standards for workers and graduates. But Joanna, being a Filipino, you know how we thrive in different countries, right? So our skilled workers are one of the most sought after. And I think if you are a Filipino, you don't have to worry about the white paper. In 2021, the UK education sector And the transnational education contributed £21.7 billion in the UK economy. And the UK government itself made it clear that international students are welcome and valued. You don't have to be worried about the immigration white paper, and rest assured that the British Council will assist our international students.
That's very encouraging to hear, Gerald, especially for our parents and students, knowing that the UK government remains committed to supporting our students, because sometimes it's the policy changes that create doubts and hesitation. What advice could you give our students currently preparing for their applications?
First and foremost, choose the right course and the right university. Consider the course content, location, rankings, and more importantly, the student reviews. Next, you must also understand the application process. And you should also mind the deadlines. That's important. You may also want to explore scholarship opportunities offered by the British Council, like the Achieving Scholarship. And finally, prepare for your life in the UK.
That's a whole roadmap right there, but thank you, Gerald, for breaking it down. It's important for students to be able to trust people and organizations to help them in their journey. Which leads me to my next question. How does the British Council collaborate with education partners and agents?
We consider education agents and counselors as an important part of our recruitment process. We value them as partners. They play a critical role in recruitment of international students. The British Council International Student Mobility team works with agents and counselors across the world to ensure that international students considering the UK as a study destination enjoy a high-quality experience. We also offer training and certification to become a UK agent or counselor, and it is 100% free of charge. And we also host major events like the East Asia Education Week and the Education Agents Conference, bringing together many stakeholders from university leaders, agents, and alumni to foster collaboration and innovation and share policy updates, market insights, and trends.
And with so much information out there, choosing who to trust can be very challenging for our students. Why is it important for students to trust certified agents?
Working with trusted and certified education agents like you in StudyIn can make a world of difference for students planning to study abroad.
That's such a powerful reminder, Gerald. When students work with the right people, it doesn't just make the process easy, but it also feels empowering to them. So thank you so much for taking time to share all these insights. I know this conversation will definitely help a lot of students feel more confident about studying in the UK. Studying in the UK opens doors not just for world-class education, but for personal growth. As Gerald and Francis have mentioned, it's important to make well-informed decisions and be prepared at every step. So don't hesitate to reach out. Whatever stage you're in, we're here to help you through your journey. Visit our website or message us on our socials to book a free consultation. Want more study abroad content? Just like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.